go. Here we are again, Jeffrey. 7 a.m. here in the desert on, I guess it's going to be another toasty one here today. I don't know, 108, 109. And what happens here is that it's actually pretty nice in the mornings. And then by like 4 in the afternoon or 5, it's just had all day to just bake and bake. And there's, not a wisp of wind going on. And, it's just like you go outside and you go, oh, God. This is
everything.
Yeah. And then I watch
everything's radiating heat.
Oh, it
right?
is. And I watched Sotero, who is our guy here, our maintenance guy here in our little lakefront area. And I see this dude, and he's just shuffling along like this is nothing. What are you talking about, 109, Brent?
Right.
I mean, all right, 118, 118, 119. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But
108, man up.
Come on. So, anyway, how you doing today?
Doing all right. So
good. Okay. Well, look,
I'm a little rough around the edges here.
Yeah.
I got a fluff and fold for later on today. So
for our second recording session today, yeah, I'd like to see you a little bit more in the. I remember, I was going to prep school. I was like a senior, and this was back in the day, back in the '60s in Colorado, and I thought I was a pretty cool guy. I hadn't shaved for a few days, and I had this little tiny fuzz growing there after a couple weeks, and we had, the school was big on, we had this big horse gymkhana arena thing, and the guy who ran the show there said, "Son, I think it's time you back up to a razor real soon." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, all right, I'm just rolling here, aren't I? I can't really sort of get figured out what we're going to do. I do have a topic for the day. And
cool.
Before we get to it, I want to remind everybody two things. Number one, thank you again for hanging out with us. Another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. I'm Brent Abel. The dude next to me is Jeff Jacklich. And we are publishing a new episode every single day. And
how do they do it?
I fly to Pontiac and we get together, and then you fly out here to the desert. No.
Yeah.
No, it's the miracle of Skype. Anyway, and the other thing, guys, is look, we are offering a free private 10-minute coaching call. They generally don't last 10 minutes. It's a little bit longer. But what we ask is that you bring the one thing in your game right now. Could be technique, could be strategy, tactics, maybe something in the mental part of your game that needs a little upgrading. And whatever it is, we want to help you kind of solve that one thing that you're struggling with right now and start getting the result that you want with your game, whether it's singles and or doubles. The way to get on that free call, go over to goldballhunting.com, put in the first name, email address, click the button, and you'll get access to our online calendar scheduler where you can cherry pick a date and time that works best for you. One of the things, I don't know why, but I've been getting some questions recently about players not being able to feel like they're reacting quickly. They just kind of feel. Are you okay over there? Can you hear me all right?
I can. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting a little
static.
Like we've got it. Like a little. Like we got a poor connection, but
okay.
Okay.
Well,
a little choppy, but it's okay.
Kind of like my forehand sometimes. A little choppy, a little hacky. So let me get back to the question I want to ask you today, or sort of the advice that I've been giving, and have you kind of chop away at that. But players have been saying, you know what? One thing I'm getting older, and we talked yesterday about, hey, age is like the worst excuse of all time. You can't use that as an excuse. But they're talking about the reaction time has slowed down. And so I think what happens, my first piece of advice when someone says that the reaction time is slowing down or they've lost a step or whatever it is that, check your grip tension on your racket handle. And one thing that could be happening, I'm not saying this is a thing, but the first thing I always recommend that you check is that you may be over gripping. You may be bringing too much grip tension as your opponent is about to make contact because you feel whatever. You feel slower. You feel like you want to react faster. So it's just sort of instinctive to kind of hold the racket too tight. And my feeling is if you bring too much grip tension to the game, whether it's at that moment when your opponent's about to make contact, or maybe it's about when you're about to make contact, is that everything tightens up, and you just don't react as quickly. You don't see the ball as well if you've got grip tension. It's the other thing too when we're up at net in doubles, right, and the four guys are up there and they're all sort of reacting balls back and forth, and to me, if we could measure it, the guys who are really successful at it, their grip tension is hardly anything when that opponent's about to make contact. So that's the first thing that I advise, Jeff. What would be some other thing that you could help players with? Or go ahead and kind of comment on that, on grip tension. But anything else to help players feel like they can't use the age excuse as I'm slow, I'm slower reacting. What else could they do?
Right. Well, what it does is, when you go with, like, when you finally notice the physicality, if it's something like you're advising, right, to go out to the court and notice, actually notice your grip tension. Like, wow, I am white knuckling the racket. I'm holding on to it like a hatchet. I'm gonna do some damage here, right? And I think, the grip tension is an aspect of it it's like a physical manifestation of tension itself, right? So that's how it expresses itself. But then what you don't realize is that because you're tense, you also start to inhibit your own ability to think clearly. You've got stress. And now if you've loaded it with a pre notion that, I'm getting older and I just don't react the same and blah, blah, blah. And now we're trying to, like, almost overcompensate. I'm going to try and hit the ball a little harder because I can't get there as fast. Whatever, thought process starts to kind of tumble through the brain, because it is the opposite of what you and I have been talking about now for this whole, 170 episodes, where we're in clarity. Right, it comes back down to clarity, and so grip tension is a
clarity killer.
Yeah, a symptom of no clarity, and so but that's just the physical manifestation of it. So grip tension means you're moving slower. It's just because you're tight. Your body doesn't get a chance to work, let's say, kinetically, athletically smooth. It can't. The grip tension also then inhibits. Obviously swing freedom, but also technically, can we operate at a higher, the autopilot of technically hitting a clean ball, that doesn't come from grip tension, high grip tension. You've got to be in that softer place mentally and physically, so you can actually react, efficiently.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about, like, am I faster than the other guy? It's, can you maintain an efficient mode of operation? Because if you can be efficient still, you don't need to be the fastest horse in the barn.
That's right. That's right. That's good.
So.
Well, look, I think the other thing too is I'd love to find a way to measure this thing, but if you could measure the overall grip tension throughout the length of a match, I think what we would find is that it just wears you out. Is that
right? Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
It's a small thing, but it adds up over the course of the match. Is that those kinds of things? If you've got if you've got the inability to speak the English language, then then that might wear you out during the match.
How's your grip tension right now, Brenny? How you doing?
The plane's going down, Jeff.
Yeah.
But I just think it's one of those small things that not only does it affect you in the present, but over the course of the match, you got a problem. So There's something else
I agree, though. Yeah, I agree. But I think you just mentioned it, and that is you're going to be burning fuel at a much higher rate.
That's right.
I mean, literally, you're backing out of the garage and you see the needle go down on your tank.
That's right.
It's like, dude.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting as well.
Right.
You know, when you play in a stressed frame of mind, stressed physical state, it's physically exhausting.
Yeah. So here would be a practice thing that you could do is the next time you're out there in the court is as you go into your split step, right? The guy's about to hit the ball over there, and as you go into your split step, really be aware of your hands. Really be aware of and I do it mostly on return to serve. I mean, when that guy's about to make contact with a serve, I've got to make sure that my hands are soft at that moment because I still don't know if the ball is going to be on my right, if the ball is going to be on my left. And one of the things we've been talking a lot about the last few episodes is getting into the hitting position as soon as possible. And if you have no grip tension at the moment when they make contact over there, you've got a way better chance of getting the shoulders turned much more quickly and getting yourself into the proper hitting position. So, guys, just get out there and even when you're warming up, that's an ideal time. Ideal time to be aware of that thing that we're talking about. So with grip tension. And all right, well, listen, I'm really butchering today. I'm sorry, man. It's hot down here, and at night, what's happening? Like I just said at the beginning, by the end of the day, it's so hot. So by like 2 a.m, stop it. So let me finish. By 2 a.m, I'm waking up and I'm just going, my God, it's like I don't know what it is. And Mai likes it kind of hotter at night. I like it cooler at night. So. Anyway, I don't have to go into that, but it's just like the sleep thing is just interrupted, and so I haven't quite woken up. I know, it's kind of rough here. Anyway,
in the comments below, if you could just send Brenny your sympathy notes, that'd be great.
All right, I gotta get out of here, guys. Jeff, what do we want the fine folks to do right now?
Like us, or at least like me. Share us.
At least share me.
Please, at least share me. Please subscribe to me, and let us know what you think about me down below.
All right. That's good. Guys, get out there today. Help some other sleepyhead dude have a great day. Jeff, let's try this again tomorrow.
Oh, boy, I can't wait.